happening, HC Nation? Hey, this week we're doing two very important cards. These ones are choice cards and also once and constant cards. So these cards are something that we need to explain because they're very important cards and very important information to be able to work with. So here we go. We have Emmy Noether. So she has, like we were talking about last week, we were talking about interrupt cards. But she's also a choice, which means you get one of the two options. The first one is to reverse the effects of any card's ability played against you, or to increase the morale by 200 points for every female in play. As an interrupt card, you can play her at any time. But the thing that we're going to focus on right now is choice. If you want to see about interrupts, you can go to the last week's Tutorial Tuesday. But choice cards are basically where you have to choose which one do you really want. Is your greatest effort going to be put towards reversing the effects of a card that's played against you? If someone plays Mount Vesuvius against you and is going to destroy a whole land and all the people in it, yeah, she's going to be very valuable. At the same time, say you have 4 different females, or actually maybe 3 females and her in your land. All of a sudden it gives you the max of 800 morale points. That could be the difference of winning and losing the game. So you have to make the choice, which is why these are called choice cards and so important. We have one here, Sandro. Increase your morale by 300 points from his brilliance, or your opponent loses 200 morale due to nightmares from Dante's Inferno. Okay, so you have to make a choice. Is it more beneficial for you to have the 200 morale points on your mat, or to take away from your opponent? This comes from the choice of, is your opponent about to win, or are you about to win? If you're about to win, yeah, you want those extra morale points. If your opponent's about to win, yeah, you're going to want to knock them down a few notches. Same goes with Bella Lugosi. Increase your morale by 300 from entertaining your civilization, or one of your opponents loses 300 morales out of fear. So here's the exact same setup. You get to choose if you're going to benefit or if your opponent's going to get a disadvantage by playing Bella. And then you still get to use them as people in your lands. But the choice of the abilities is something to really think about. Here, the volunteers is a tiny bit different. It says, increase your morale by 400 due to voluntary passions for freedom, or each of your opponents loses 200 morale for each European land. So say you have 3 different opponents and all of them have European lands. Well, that's 200 morale points for each of them. So that might be the fact of, hey, I want to be able to get back at all of them. And the 400 morale points, yeah, it's not going to help me because I'm so far back, but they're all about to win. I'm going to bring them all down a little bit, so it buys me a little bit more time. So that's 400 points I could get, or 600 points I could take away from all my opponents together. So that's why choice cards are so important. But here's another one that's really important. These are once and constant cards. So Joseph Stalin decreases your morale by 200 and an opponent's by 400 points. So the only reason why you'd be playing that, because you're going to lose morale, is because your opponent's about to win and you want to knock him down 400 morale points. That happens one time. The constant is if he occupies an Asian land, increases your morale by, your attack by 1,000 points. So that's another reason why you want to keep that. He has, as a not so good leader in the world, who basically killed off millions of his own people, actually millions of Ukrainians, but his neighboring country, you have to make the choice. You're going to lose morale, but you'd also get a great advantage over your opponent. So let's say Peter the Great once increased morale by 300 points if Peter resides in Russia. The constant, though, is that if Peter occupies a land with a coast, so Russia, increase defense by 500 points. So you might not get that once because he's not in Russia, but that constant, as long as it has a coast, you'll definitely get it. If it's something like Vatican City, sorry, you're not going to get it because there's no coast in Vatican City. If you have it in Venuta, then yeah, you would, because it has coasts. Now let's go to Nicola. This one says, once, for every opposing politician, decrease your morale by 200 points. What? Decrease my morale by 200 points? But the thing is, constant, increase strength by 300 for every politician he battles. So, say I don't have any they don't have any opposing politicians. Great. As soon as I play it, that's once. As soon as I play it, it's done. That once is immediate. I don't lose the morale points. But the increase, if they get any politicians, then automatically I would get an extra 300 morale points, or 300 strength points. 300 points could be the difference of actually winning or losing the game. So again, this is the once and constants. These are the choice cards. These are all about choices. You get to choose. You get once and constant. Here, you get to choose if you want to, which ability you want, because there's two different abilities to choose from. So this is a little bit more of the strategy of the game. These are great cards to have because they're not there to hurt you, and they give you two sets of abilities. So these are ones you want to stack your deck with. These ones you might want to consider if you want to have in your decks. These are interesting people. Okay, one last one, algebra. Increase your morale by 300 points. Great. As soon as I play it, I get 300 morale points. That's one I probably want to have in my hand. Constant, increase your strength for your civilization, so the whole civilization, by 300 while this card is in play. So that's as long as it's in the active area. So, once and constant cards are valuable, and when you're customizing your decks, you can choose if you want them. The choice cards are very valuable because they give you two abilities to choose from. The only thing is you have to choose which one you want. So thanks for joining me on this Tutorial Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed learning more about once and constant cards and the choice cards. Next week, get ready. We are introducing Historical Conquest 2.0 and how to use them in the game. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye. If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.